Gary, hello.
Hello.
As one of the senior England players, what are your views on the departure of Sam Allardyce?
For me, disappointing. And I can only comment this, and I'm only going to comment on my dealings with the ex-manager. And for me, the week that I spent with him, I only worked under him for that week. I enjoyed it. We got a good result, and for me, my personal dealings with him was fine and great. So, of course, it's disappointing to lose the manager, but now we have to move on, and we have to prepare for the games that are coming up. In the best possible frame of mind.
Do you feel that Gareth Southgate is just the man to take this setback and move England forward into a more positive frame of mind?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. He's an experienced player in the past. His experiences, he's played many times for England, and obviously working with the 21s, him and Steve know how the setup is, know how things are run. Obviously they're here at the same at St George's Park all the time when we're here anyway, so they're familiar with the whole situation. So yeah, for me it's obviously moving forward with the new manager, new challenges, maybe some new ideas, which we'll find out. Obviously we just met up today, so looking forward to working under him and listening to him and taking on board his ideas and his plans now for moving forward.
Of course, he was an international central defender as well, so that helps your cause, doesn't it?
No, of course he was a top player in his time. You know, I can speak as a literally as a kid. I was at Aston Villa, in under 13s, 14s, 15s when he was there. So I watched him many times there growing up. But obviously I'm familiar with his career, of course, and especially his career with England, which I said earlier, he's got many caps for his country and very patriotic. And like I said, he's familiar with all the situation here, not just as a player but as a manager for the 21s. So looking forward to working under him, and like I said, listening to him and taking his ideas on board.
You are, as we were saying, one of the most experienced England players. Do you feel an extra responsibility to show leadership at this stage as well?
Yeah, listen, I think what's happened. You move on, we move on. Like I said earlier, it's obviously disappointing, but it's done and we move on. I've certainly been involved in many managers that have changed throughout my career at club and country. So, it's one of them where you reflect and again repeating myself, but it was a disappointing. It's been a tough week for everybody involved, and then now we look to build for the coming games because they're very important. And for us as players, we kind of learn throughout the career, especially the older ones and experienced ones. And like I said, for me, who's played under many managers, you learn to kind of move on and almost get cracking straight away under the new manager. So that's what we're aiming to do as a group of players. We know that we have an important week of training coming up, and we have some important fixtures coming up, not just these next 2 games, but obviously in the future as well. So we have to be focused on what we're doing, and again look to work hard and win these games that we've got coming up.
How much of a bonus is it for you that Gareth's brought Steve Holland along from the under-21s as well as first-team coach for the seniors, and of course you know him so well at Chelsea?
Yeah, he's good because, like I said, they're familiar with each other. They worked together for a long time. I've worked with Steve at Chelsea now for many years. I think he come slightly before me, so I've worked with him for many years there, and of course know him very well. So I've no doubt they're going to do a fantastic job. Obviously I've trained with Steve in his sessions plenty of times, and I'm sure the lads will really enjoy the sessions that are going to be coming up this week. And again, I'm looking forward to working under a new manager, and again, like I said earlier, taking on his ideas and moving forward, because ultimately we're here for the same thing. Everyone wants to succeed, everyone wants to win these next 2 games coming up in what's been a tough week. We want to finish this camp on a positive with 2 wins in the bag, and we go back to club level.
And for you, there's a potential personal milestone coming up. If you were to appear in both games, you'd hit the 50 mark, a half century of England caps, which would be some achievement.
Yeah, I'm aware of that before I come, so I'm going to work hard this week and hopefully I can achieve that. But for me, it'd be a massive achievement, something I'm very proud of, something you can't take away from you. And for me to come into England and set up reasonably late in terms of when I look around the squad now and I see boys coming in at 19, 20, 21 years of age, you know, they're the players that go on to reach the 100 caps. But to do that, you know, you've got to play 10 years plus regularly starting for your country, which is very difficult. So that's why to reach the 100 mark for your country is an unbelievable achievement. So for me to come in at, you know, 25 or whenever it was when I come in, then it's a great achievement, because I've played regularly from then to this stage now, to be able to come close to reaching 50 caps, which, again, like I said, would be something I'd be very proud of.
Well, during your 48 caps, you've played with several different central defensive partners. I just wondered how you reflect on how you and John Stones did in Slovakia, and how important a figure he might go on to be for England.
Yeah, again, it touches upon the age of coming in, and you know, Stones is very, very young and developing as a player, and is developing at a fantastic club. Everyone knows his ability, and there's no reason for me why he won't go on to be a huge player for England. So, reflecting back on the game that went, we did well. We kept a clean sheet. We had majority of the play. We had majority of the ball. So defensively, for me, there wasn't too much we had to do. And you know, for him, obviously, attributes getting on the ball and going forward was very comfortable in that game, because we had so much of the ball. So for me, it worked well. It allowed him to be freed up. I just sat and you know, organised things from the back, and we got a good result in the end. So for me, it went well.
Got some competition in central defence in this squad now, with Michael Keane coming in. That's 5 central defenders, isn't there?
Yeah, another player who's done very well. Obviously, this season has started really well, and to come into the frame and to learn off all the players that are going to be here will be great for his experience. So obviously welcome him into the squad. But competition, yeah, I hear that word every single time I come to England, and I expect to hear that word every single time I come again, because you know, it's competition all the time, whether that's at club level, whether that's at international level. There's always competition here. So it's good. It's a great bunch of lads, and we're all striving to go in the right direction, in the same direction. But for me, again, like I said, I'm working hard this week to hopefully achieve, you know, the goals that I want to achieve, and I can see them that 50 cap mark, and that's where I want to get to. But you know, ultimately, like I said, we're all striving to achieve the same thing.
Gareth Southgate wouldn't be drawn on his long-term future when he was asked about did he want the job full-time. But what he did say was that at the end of the 4 games, he wanted to leave the situation with England top of their qualifying group. I mean, that's a really good motivation, I guess, for the players, for the man in charge at the moment.
Yeah, and he's passed that on to us, you know, already. So, like I said earlier, we're all striving to do the same things, to achieve the same goals, and that is winning these games that are coming up. I know that the manager coming in now is probably uncertain, a lot of uncertainty to whether he's going to take charge or you know, for the 4 games, you know, he's going to be involved in. He obviously wants to win all 4 games, just like us as players. So that'd be a great situation, you know, if that was to be the case. And after the 3 qualifying games we've got, that we're sitting top of the table, then that's fantastic for himself and fantastic for us, and ultimately fantastic for England and what we're all striving for. So, but again, that starts from today. That starts from the session today. That starts from us all working hard to achieve that, and there's no reason why we shouldn't.
Is there anything else you can tell us about what he's said to the players so far?
No, it's a brief introduction, because obviously we've just arrived, really. So it's a brief introduction, and I'm sure we'll gather more during the course of the week. And you know, we'll go out to train this afternoon, which a few lads are probably on the second day of recovery. So you know, tomorrow and the day after will be important training days for us leading up to the game, I'm sure.
Just one last one from me, Gary. It's a slightly different topic. FIFA are discussing the possibility of a 48-team World Cup, which would involve 16 getting through automatically as seeds, and another 32 then playing 1 knockout game at the tournament to make it up to 32. So it would increase the number of countries that could potentially qualify. Good thing, bad thing? Have you got any views on it?
Who knows? I think I'd probably give the smaller countries obviously more of an opportunity, but I don't know. Have they decided that, or is that?
No, it's just something up for discussion at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Decide in early next year.
For me, what will be will be. Obviously, I have no say in that. So what will be will be, and we'll wait and see what they decide.
All right, thanks, Gary.
No problem.
Appreciate that.
It's happened in the past, whether it be the FA or elsewhere, but would the senior players, you've been one of them, vice captain in the past and stuff, expect to be canvassed for opinion on the manager going forward, whether it should be an English person or not? Would you expect to have that conversation at some stage?
No, I don't think we'd be asked, really. I think it's to do with the FA, obviously, what they're going to appoint. I think moving forward, for me, obviously an English manager would be good, but it's, whoever's in the best shape and whoever's going to lead the country in the best way, really. So, and that's not a decision for us to make. That's obviously a decision for the FA to make, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of thought go into that.
And just finally, good to get back to Wembley after the summer, and then what's happened since then. It's sort of a first time back there to put a result on the board, hopefully.
Exactly. It'd be good to go to get back and playing on Wembley. For us, it was after the summer. Obviously, the disappointment there was the first game was always very strange. So to get the first game out of the way, to get the performance, which I thought was good, and the win, which was positive, then that was a good feeling for us. So coming into this game now makes it slightly easier for us to go out and try and put in a performance for the fans and put in a performance in England that we should be proud of and get a result. So we know that the summer was very disappointing and it hurt a lot of us, and that's in the past. Now we have to build and move forward. So always looking forward to playing at Wembley. It's a fantastic stadium.
Okay, thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you.